On the evening of August 12, 1985, a massive Boeing 747-100 was cruising on a short flight from Tokyo's Haneda Airport to Osaka's Itami Airport. The tail of the plane flew off and the pilots lost control. 30 minutes later, the plane crashed into Mount Takamagahara, killing 520 people. This is the story of Japan Airlines Flight 123. On a night in 1978, the 4-year-old Boeing 747-100, registered as Juliet Alpha 8119, was landing in Osaka Itami International Airport, inbound from Tokyo Haneda Airport, when the passengers heard a loud bang. The tail had struck the ground. The aircraft had major damages and was sent to Boeing's Everett Payne Field in Everett, Washington State. However, Boeing's maintenance at the time wasn't the best, and the maintenance that was done to the plane was poor quality. The spot that was replaced is supposed to have 2 rows of rivet joints to hold it in properly, but instead only had 1. The plane is now a ticking time bomb waiting to go off.
At the starting of the week, at Summit Talks, you'll hear them speak. It's only Monday.
This week in Japan was a very busy week for travelers. It was the week of Obon. Obon is the Japanese holiday where people travel to their birthplace to visit family. Tokyo's dual airports of Haneda and Narita were both being flooded by thousands of holiday travelers. JA 8119 was scheduled to fly from Tokyo to Osaka, one of the most popular flights in the world under the call sign JAL 123. Due to this holiday, the plane was at near full capacity. It took off from Tokyo's Haneda Airport without any issues. There only being 1 set of rivet joints, it made that part of the pressure bulkhead weak, and on its previous flights it began to crack. The plane ascended and was now at 24,000 feet, where the air pressure is getting very thin. The crack between the rivet joints then opened up. Both the compressed air from the outside and the depressurized air from the inside of the plane made a force so strong that the back half of the plane's massive tail fin and its CPU broke off. After the tail flew off, the pilots heroically kept the plane in the air for 30 minutes. They gave the plane thrust when the nose dips, and when the plane pulls up, they give it thrust. That was their way of keeping the plane in the air for enough time to possibly make it to Nagoya Airport. However, the hydraulic fluid pipes broke during this process, which made it even harder for the pilots because they could not control the rudder. It didn't take the pilots long to realize that their plane was doomed. They ended up hitting the side of Mount Takamagahara and later flew directly into it. There are only 4 survivors that were counted, and 520 people had died. After the crash, the Japanese Air Authority and the National Transportation Safety Board of the United States began investigating the crash. They made Boeing do more training on their engineers and did a complete overhaul of Boeing's staff to make sure they had higher quality maintenance to keep planes safer in the future. Boeing also tracked down the people that did the repairs, and they lost their jobs, but miraculously did not get any jail time. Once the NTSB concluded their investigation on the crash, they had decided to run an experiment. They had set 10 flight crews and put them in a simulation that had the same circumstances as JAL 123. The goal was to land the plane at any of the 3 nearby airports. None of the flight crews were successful. None of the flight crews flew as long as JAL 123's crew did, which made that crew one of the best of all time. Japan Airlines Flight 123 also went down in history as the world's deadliest single aircraft plane crash and still holds this title to this day. 520 people died, a great tragedy.